Good afternoon, Hershey. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Brother Thomas?
I'm doing great.
Good shit.
I'm waiting for my TV. There we go. My TV just started, so I'm gonna be distracted because I'm gonna have to watch the comments come up on the TV as they come up. But anybody
Okay.
joining us, make sure to give us a question in the chat, and we can answer your questions. Now, I was kind of letting Hershey know what was going on lately in the reckless Ben situation, and I was going over um, the police cruiser, policeman's body cam as he's on the way to Ammon McNeff's corporate training store in Orem, Utah, uh, taking yet another um, highly exaggerated phone call from Ammon with his um, insecurities and uh, um, what is it when you transference onto his take of things and how he wanted to color the narrative and say whatever he had to say to um, activate a police officer to do his bidding. Um, I think other people might call that manipulation. Um, I I don't know. I know what his goal is. You know, his goal is strictly personal, as a lot of my motivations are strictly personal. If you saw the thumbnail for today's show, it's not about it's not about reckless Ben. It's about my feelings got hurt by YouTube making it now impossible to live up to their newest standards, and even giving me till February 1st of next year, um, there's no way I can catch up to the current standards because I've been doing this for 3 years, and I guess I'll just keep doing what I do and not work 20 hours a day and make the ultra high production, fast paced editing, um, production videos. Somebody with um, current YouTube monetizing can hire a staff to do editing because my editing is my editing. I don't know how to do the fancy things, and the learning curve is way too high. But enough about me and my agenda. Let's get back to Ammon McNeff and his agenda to get reckless Ben out of his hair. Um, Personally, I think the whole thing could have been settled before we even heard about it by working with the Mansell family and giving back the value or the sets to equal the value that was owed. Uh, Now it's a big dumpster fire. So
It's more than
Hershey, yeah, Hershey, what do you think about the whole situation? I know you think it's interesting. Um, it's only interesting because I got fired up about it. Uh,
no. That's not the only reason it's interesting. It's the reason I got so engulfed in it was because I saw how it really triggered some things in you. It brought a side of you out that Okay, yes, I've seen it, but I saw it in like past versions of you and heard it in stories that you had told or something that, one of the Hog brothers said or something that one of your besties said. I never saw it in action. So to see it in present real life action, it just I had to know more. I had to understand what it was that really got your goat, so to speak. And well, somewhere in the process of trying to understand it, it got my goat. And then next thing I know, I'm like, well, I have to know more. And then having to know more turned into, well, what do you think is going to happen? And then next thing I know, I'm invested. I'm all in it. And now I'm over here going, why haven't we read on it yet? What's going on?
Okay, well, um,
So
I
here we
guess
are.
I guess why it's such a engaging story for me. It is a typical uh, David versus Goliath. Um,
I
there's
see
a
that. I
hero,
see that.
there's a
I can
hero,
see it.
there's a villain, and there's a victim.
Okay.
And I think those. I mean, I've been the underdog many, or felt like the underdog many times in my life. If no matter what, I've been a privileged underdog. I've always
Mhm.
my needs have been met. I've been fed, clothed, and housed all my life. So nothing that's ever happened to me has been dire. So to have first world problems uh, uh, makes me an entitled Karen sometimes.
Speaking of that, can we go off script for 1 second?
We are.
So, oh, okay. Well, then let's keep it going before we
Yeah.
get back on script. Okay, so I watch mindless, what I call mindless YouTube videos because I like other people's opinions about different shit that's happening in the real world. Does it have to be relevant? No. Does it have to make sense? No. Does it have to have anything to do with logic? Again, no. It doesn't have to have anything to do with any of that. In fact, it is probably all of the exact opposites. Like, uh, let's see, what's that one? Criminals caught doing the stupid shit. I like that one.
Dumb
Uh,
criminal.
Pops doing like crazy things. The newest thing is the Hodges twins. I'm obsessed with the Hodges twins. They're these two twin gentlemen, and they do reaction videos to dumb shit that's recorded, and usually cops are involved and all this other craziness, and it's quite hilarious.
When we lived together, I tried to get you to do things like that, and uh, you just
Well,
didn't.
it
You
rubbed off
didn't.
now.
Okay, well, okay. Now that we don't live together and maybe aren't so close, maybe you can stand to do it. We'll record it and react.
Well, I don't know about that part. I ain't got that far yet. I've just started watching it, like really getting into it. And I tell you, I don't know if I found the Hodges twins through you or just recommendation because of you and watching different things. But these two, like their favorite word is high functioning retard. And I swear to God, that's all it takes is me to hear that. And I don't care what I'm doing, I will stop and be like, what the fuck did they do? We got a high functioning retard, y'all. What'd they do? I swear to God. I learned all
Well,
concepts of humanities and be like, well, I want to laugh. What'd they do?
well, you know,
Fucking no.
sometimes I'm not high functioning, but uh,
It
I
doesn't take
do,
much to be a high functioning
I do
retard, or
feel,
at least that's my
I do,
my my
I do
thought.
feel less than fully intelligent a lot of times. Okay, shall we get to some questions?
Absolutely.
BJC is
Yes.
doing. She's a legal type person, and she's been doing a lot of investigations behind the scene, trying to um uh so her legal investigations have um she's been trying to follow the LLCs and the people involved, and she's got her own um what do you call it, detective board with strings, um as as a photographic um map of what's going on, who's related to whom, what corporation is protected by this LLC and this LLC and this LLC, and who's the fake owners and who's the real owners. And she's
Is
done a
this a
very
YouTube channel?
yeah, BJC Live is the
Okay.
channel, and her signature colors are pink. So she's just like you. She loves pink. Everything's pink. She got a pink sparkly microphone and a pink sparkly cup that she drinks out of,
I
um,
need a big pink sparkly cup.
and
Shit.
you know she's got I don't know if she practiced as a lawyer or has a law degree, or has she has talked about being sued several times in her life, and she lets you know it's not a pleasant process, but um, she is tenacious. She like a dog with a bone. She won't let it go.
I
Today,
like her. So as soon as so just off the top of my head, 9 major arcana fell out just channeling her. I like her.
so
She's
she's
complex. I
abundant.
like her.
She's abundant, but not over the top. She's
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Oh, yes, she is. And she does it in a very subtle, in your face kind of way. She does it to the point where she's not brutally honest because she's not trying to embarrass you. She's just trying to make sure that you understand she is honest and she will call you on your shit, or at least that's what it looks like here. She is temperance in moderation. So yeah, she's honest, but she's not brutally honest. She's not doing it to intentionally embarrass you, hurt your feelings, set you out. None of that. She's only doing it because she wants you to do better. So her temperance is in moderations, but oh yeah, there's 3 devil cards, the temperance and the high priestess is in reverse underneath the hierophant and the tower. Oh yeah, she definitely is she enjoys an ego check, so to speak. But what do I know? I don't even know who she is. These just fell
well,
out because you were talking about her.
her sign off is "love you, mean it, bye." You know, sort
Uh-huh.
of sort of snarky, sarcastic, and she lets you know that if somebody uh, puts a suggestion in chat or is snarky or anything like that, or trying to take her off course, she says, "Well, this is my little realm or kingdom today. If you want to talk about that, why don't you go um, meet your friends and do illicit things in the woods? This is my kingdom." you know,
Yeah.
uh,
I absolutely see it. I mean, when your sun card is literally taking the heart right out of those that are not deserving, but also choking those that are deserving because they want to be choked. Yeah, that is someone that absolutely is a strong minded individual that is not scared to dance in the light of day, so to speak. They are not scared individual. They have no problem with speaking their truth and yours. So
okay, so what she found out in researching the BAM Corporation is,
uh-huh.
first of all, they have you sign a franchise agreement, and you got to do everything in the
Wait,
franchise
wait, okay,
agreement.
okay,
But
okay,
then,
okay.
but then um, you're subsequently may or may not be given an operations manual.
Okay.
Crystal Logorman, the consignment taker, never got an operations manual. So, so you've got to be bound to everything in the franchise agreement, and then you're bound to everything in the operations manual, which you may or may not have gotten. And if you're setting up a bricks and minifigs location by scratch, they tell you who are approved vendors for getting signage from, and they only list two companies: American Made Sign and Brick Sign. And you can find American Made Sign so easily, but anything that you put in for Brick Sign, um, it's not advertised or it's not available on the web. You can't find it easily. So basically, they're trying to give you a choice of who you get your signage from, but
Uh-huh.
you don't really have a choice. You got to get
Okay.
it
Yeah.
from this person. But there's sign makers all over the the country. So if you've got your trademark, if you send a vector file of that to any sign maker, they can make it. If you send your what do they call it, the numbers, the color numbers, so they can make it in the exact colors that you want it. It's not chroma key. Um, it's a printing ink. So it's like a CMYK code that tells you exactly how much to mix percentage wise to get the color. You know, um, Pantone. Got it. Eventually,
Okay.
mine like a steel trap. So, as long as they got the Pantone and the vector file, they can. Any sign maker can make it. But those
Okay.
are the only two approved sign makers, and one doesn't exist apparently. No matter what you do, you can't find them as a sign maker under the name they give you. So what do you think about the choice that's not a choice?
Huh? A choice? It's
What?
not a choice.
Yeah. Okay. So the only two approved grocery
Well,
stores
man,
that the only
I
two.
heard what you said. I just don't understand. Like when you said that, I wasn't saying, huh, like reword it. I
Okay.
wasn't expecting that to be the question because I have some cards that kind of just fell out while I was shuffling, and I've
Okay.
been
Well.
sitting here trying to put them together, but they might be the answer to that question.
Well. Okay. That's what I want. What's the answer to um a forced business dealing without having autonomous choice?
Do you really want the answer to what I got? Okay, so here's what I got. Queen of Cups in reverse and Queen of Coins in reverse. So a whole lot of deception and mistrust.
So I think maybe eventually when she um goes back and finds maybe she will, maybe she won't, maybe finds the ownership of American Made Sign, that there's gonna be some kind of personal, um either connection or BYU buddy or something to Ammon or Matt McNeff. Just just a supposition. I don't know if that's true or not. Um, so yeah, you have to follow the things in not only the franchise agreement but the operations manual. And if you are not given an operations manual, and then they come up and say you're in violation of the operations manual, and you never got an operations manual, um, you, it just seems like um, an unpure way of doing business. It looks really sus or shady to me.
It does, and okay, so on that line, I have Ten of Wands in reverse paired with, I mean, I'm sorry, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Ten of Swords in the upright with Ace of Swords in the reverse. So there is definitely a lot of misconception going on. There is a lot of juggling. There is a lot of outside influences going on. Like nobody is being honest at all. So all she's gonna find is a bunch of people being dishonest and making a bunch of false damn promises and using outside influences to make their lies and false promises look good.
Okay, so was that the wheel, the ten of swords reversed, and the ace of swords reversed?
So it's the Wheel of Fortune reversed,
Oh,
Ace of Swords in reverse, and the Ten of Swords was in the middle in the upright.
okay. Um, so it is deceiving and meant to stab you in the back and maybe catch you out so they can um, swoop in again and take another um, company without merit.
Oh yeah, for sure, and
Okay.
they're doing it dishonestly. And look, they gain strength because of it. They gain ground, and I can't figure this part out. I don't know how they're gaining ground because of it. But are you serious? There's strength in this lie, or what's that Michael Jackson song? You tell a lie so many times it becomes the truth. The lie becomes the truth.
Billie Jean.
Ah, yeah,
Ooh,
yeah,
that
yeah,
becomes the juice. Okay.
yeah.
The the franchisees, the distribution service that they used to have for Lego was called Toy House,
Uh
and
huh.
so as of April, they finally corporate finally brokered a deal with Lego to
Okay. Okay.
be their authorized distributor. Lego sells to corporate, and then
Okay.
corporate is in charge of distribution.
Okay.
So um, apparently on different dates of the year. Okay.
We just got a 10 of coin on the floor in reverse. Okay, go ahead.
Generational wealth. That's the McNeff family.
Um,
Did
we got lightning coming out
okay.
here.
Oh my goodness, I just got distracted. Oh, okay. The Toy House was their distributor. They finally brokered a deal with Lego. Lego
Hi,
only
Andy. How you doing?
Lego only ships to the main distribution point. So I don't know if they had a distribution point set up or not, but they now have a distribution point near Fort Worth, Texas. So August 1st is a big date for new Lego product. I guess
Uh-huh.
it's the biggest new product drop of the year. So it's like people get their product, they have it in the stores, and some companies that have sell Lego will do a midnight opening where they can start selling it. Maybe they close the store for the business day, reset up the store with the um, new products featured, and then at midnight they open the doors and they can sell the new product. It's
Okay.
available to them before time, and so a lot of people into Lego really count on this date too, because there's a lot of new and good or anticipated awaited sets coming. So
So
something,
Anna
some,
and
some,
Roman, hello guys, hi. How do you guys feel in chat about this situation, and like what would you have done, like finding out all of this? How would you have felt? So like a whole buttload of cards just fell, brother Thomas. So
okay.
then,
Well, I'm not very
go ahead.
succinct. I'm not very succinct in telling the story because I know that a lot of viewers, our regular viewers, may not know kind of what's going on. So, bricks and minifigs um, require uh, the franchises to put in their order and pay for their order previously, before corporate makes its order to Lego, and it all comes in bulk at one time on pallets, and goes to the distribution center. Then the distribution center um, has to ship it out to all these people across the country. Well, there was a problem with the financing from Big Bricks and Minifigs. Lego did not extend them a line of credit. So they got to pay for everything money up front. And Bricks and Minifigs did not make the payment to Lego in time to get their August 1st product. So, you know, here's all these stores hyping up an August 1st drop. They've got their money paid to corporate already, and a promise to get these new sets in stock. Uh, and they're not they're not coming in time because money did not get to Lego in time to get their order processed and to the distribution warehouse. Uh, they're they're just starting to get products from August 1st. More than a week later. Um, Disappointed. Um, Probably people that are used to going to Bricks and Minifigs for their new inbox Legos that are current. Um, Now they could have gone to Target or Walmart to get these same Lego sets because they've got their distribution centers up, and they're they have to follow the rules of Lego. So they have the sets beforehand, but they can't put them out till or start selling till August 1st. So I mean, everybody has the same deal around the North America distribution. So was is I don't want to put it as a yes no question because then you'll get your yawns out. I want to know what the cards feel. Do did they not pay because they're not financially solvent, or did or was it just a ball drop?
I think it was hesitation. I don't think it was a ball drop. I think it was literally hesitation because of everything that's going on. Listen, there is some ugly shit. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of cards on my desk right now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There are 14 cards on my desk that all had something to say while you were talking. So now you have to listen to what they said. So
Okay.
somewhere, someone in the Legos place setting, okay? Legos is a huge millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars
Well,
legacy
well,
corporation. Their Legos did not just decide to start last night being a business.
right.
They are
And
they are
they did everything according to their thing. They had their deadlines, and Bricks and Minifigs did not meet their payment deadline. So they were not
exactly.
guaranteed an August 1st drop.
So, BAM is the bubble gum on the bottom of a Lego wrapper that somebody threw away a dozen years ago. And I am not insulting anyone. What I'm saying is that somebody in Legos is paying attention. Legos is a business that was built to make kids and children and teenagers and even some adults happy. It's a craft. It's a hobby. It's a part-time thing. It's a Star Wars loving adventure if you have Obi-Wan Kenobi or Air Force One or Space Force One or however, whatever. I don't even know what they are anymore. Like, I
You,
have forgotten the names. What I'm saying is that somebody intentionally hesitated because they know something. Now, whether or not they are not intentionally saying it or they are intentionally going to continue to do it, something about Legos itself is pulling back. And
no,
I'm not
well,
sure
no,
why, but
this,
they are
this,
pulling all of theirs back as much as
this,
they can.
this entirely was not a fault at all of Lego.
No, I know
But
that. I know that. I know that. But I do think if
there
BAM tried to go there, Legos is already pulled so far back away from them.
was
They
Lego has not made a comment, and everybody's saying that they are not going to make a comment because you know after after the end of the day, it's just a toy, and they don't want to take the enjoyment of the toy away from
I know.
anyone, whether they be a Target customer or a Bricks and Minifigs customer or whatever. They're
Mhm.
from Denmark, so they may have taken a Swiss position. Let's just be neutral. Let's not say a word, and let's let our policy be our policy.
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
so, you got more cards to explain?
Well, that was for the like the first part of what you were saying. This next part might be your next question. I don't know, but if not, then I'll shuffle again and see what I get.
Okay. Okay. So so my question was, did somebody drop the ball, or are they financially um, unstable? So I I have the strengths card in reverse. So there is a weakness somewhere at BAM, whether it be the management or financials. I have the Two of Pentacles upright. So there is some juggling of maybe financial resources going on. Um, maybe they have the resources, but they weren't in the right bank account, or maybe somebody took a bigger corporate draw and bounced the operating account, and there wasn't enough money to pay for the order. And the outcome is kind of strange for me. The reverse world. So this isn't the end of their journey. They're gonna we're going to see more like things repeat. I do believe in the future. That
Hmm.
sound Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, it does, and I think it's because, listen, now, for the most part, most people for what I'm about to say, when this card is in the reverse position, they might tell you to go get to some fertility clinics. What I'm gonna say, it's because they knew they were infertile. They're milking a system that they know they can milk, if that makes any kind of sense. Listen, I got the Empress, the Fool upright, the Hermit in reverse, and the Six of Cups reversed.
That's
This
a
is not
lot of
victory.
that's a lot of major arcana, and I had two of the three were major arcana. So,
Yeah.
um,
And they're gonna keep doing it. It's like they're intentionally doing it. Listen, don't judge me, but right now, this Empress looks like somebody that knows they can't have a baby, but they would rather milk a system or take people's kindness for weakness because they know they will give to people. I don't know. Listen, I sometimes I have to think some really sick shit in bad guy energy, and whoever this bad guy is, they got some sick, twisted ass thoughts, and they know that this infidelity, this inability to produce, is the money tree, because there's a lot of ways to to take and then disappear, get little, and oh, whoa, I'm sorry. I was just trying to help. No, you weren't. You weren't. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. You were never trying to help. You were never trying to freaking help. If anything, it's victory for you every time they fail. You win, they fail, money in your pocket again. You win. You win. You win at their pain. You win at their demise. You win at their fail. You win. You win. You win. You win. You win. You win. You win every single time.
so so Anna says, took the words right out of my mouth. Uh, I guess I will let you use your yawns. So the financial
They're already
position,
here.
they're not here.
I said they're right here. They're
Oh, okay.
already here.
Okay. Uh, is Bricks and Minifigs going to use the outcome money loss to get out of paying taxes or claim a very big uh, loss as a write-off for the business, so they can hide some assets personally. I guess that's a two-part question.
And I guess that's why two sticks fell out, right?
Okay. Are they going to take it as a loss on taxes?
All right, 1 second here.
Hello, Angie. Welcome, welcome.
Okay, so you said,
Is it Angie or
do
Josh?
they turn it over? Do they turn it over to insurance, right? Do they cover their assets, so to speak? I think not. And I'll tell you why.
Mm,
As a bad guy myself, I have so many ace in the holes. I have so many jars of money buried. What I don't need is Uncle Sam coming back saying, "Well, what'd you do with the money we just gave you for your loss?" And then I get taxed on the money that I don't actually deserve. And then somebody says, "Well, where was your brick and mortar? Where was your tax return from this? Where is your substantial income? Where is your blueprint? Where is your plan? Where is your exit plan? Where is your two exit doors? Where is your push out window?" I don't need all of that. And all of that comes with government backed insurance plan. Do you hear that? That sounds like a lot of paperwork. That sounds like a lot of paper trail I don't need. I am already my own paper trail. And if I bring another party into this, that's another person to catch me up and see what my left hand is doing until the right hand. So, no, 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 no. Why no? Well, I'll tell you no, because for the simple fact is I am a manipulative, judgmental, cruel individual to begin with. Everything about me is abusive. My own thoughts towards myself are abusive. So every thought that I have towards you, how I get mine, how I keep mine, how I control mine, how I hold mine, and who and how I decide on how I lose them, it's my control. And not only that, I'm constantly defending that action. And I'm not going to let you come at me in no way, shape, form, or fashion because I'm standing my grounds 10 toes down. And if you think I am wrong about this, you have no idea because here's what I don't have: the ability to be anything other than a self doubting daredevil. So I got not one, but two no's. And that's why I got the two no's.
Okay. So that explains the financial position. Um, Ammon was whining to the police about Ben getting released from jail. And, now they're they found out that he was really arrested yesterday and got bailed out in the middle of the night. Now they're afraid for their safety. And he's asking the police officer, should he go out and buy a shotgun for his Orem store to protect him and his employees? Not as a yes no question, but what the ever freaking living heck is this person insinuating that Ben or a member of his crew is armed and dangerous when they have surveillance and keep repeatedly telling the police that they've threatened people in their stores, but can never back it up with a video or anything from the stores. We see a backup from Crystal, from the store camera when it's getting taken over, that they have audio and video, or she did in her store. So do they not have video surveillance in a corporate store? The training store in Orem that could prove his claim, or is it all bunch of hooey 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 hooey?
So this is all part of the show and gig. So listen, some of us have to stand in a ditch because that's part of the the decoy. You know, some elaborate decoys have ended in astronomical thefts, burglaries, crimes, kidnappings, the sleight of hand, the obstacle illusion, the disappearing act of all of it, right? all of this all of this is done in temptation. All of it is done with no moderation. All of this is being done deceitfully, and on top of it, whoever the ringleader is, they are pretending they're a family man. They are pretending that they are just the perfect husband. They are pretending that they are defending something that they are not. They are actually doing the exact opposite. I do believe, and I think I'm being told that approximately about 6 weeks ago when we started reading on this, I think I told you somebody is going. I believe I told you. I feel like somebody's life is going to be in danger here, and maybe even like literally shot at, like death acts are going to come to an individual. And now I think I understand what they are. This man is setting up the bar and the story for self defense. And all he's doing is laying out a perfect plot and cover up for murder.
Uh,
I think he has
I,
every
I think
intention,
I'm
and I'm not
I'm
kidding
seeing a
you. I think he
flawed
has every
plot.
intention of ending his life, and calling it self defense.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Ammon, when the police officer gets to the Orem store and goes in the back room with Ammon, um, he takes care of some personal business and comes back and has a meeting in the back room with Ammon and um, a, a I'll just call it a nosy party standing in the doorway, just visibly eavesdropping, just scrolling on their telephone, but paying very, 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 very close attention. And apparently, this person is the one of the trainers for new franchisee owners. I guess they get like a week's training at the Orem store. So he probably didn't have a new franchisee in at the time to train. So they got people to take care of the running of the day-to-day business, so he's got to insert himself in the doorway. That being said, um, Ammon makes the accusation that they've researched Reckless Ben, because Benjamin Snyder is from Ohio. And when they were researching Benjamin Snyder from Ohio, they came up with a person with who coincidentally had the same name, Benjamin Snyder, who had been convicted in Ohio of 102 counts of um, possessing child um, P on their telephone. So Ammon makes the brilliant academic assumption or assessment that Ben has been um, SA'd in his past, and this is what makes him dangerous as a sociopath, and he's not going to stop at anything until he gets what he wants. And please make it stop, officer. Please make it stop. Um, is is Ammon qualified to call anybody a sociopath or pathologize other people, or is that just transference?
Okay, so do I think he can match me with an associate's degree in psychology? No. And do I think that my associate's degree is enough credible ground to give someone a diagnosis of a mental disability? No, I don't. So, no, I don't think. And if he has a PhD, a master's, or at least a bachelor's, I would say possibly he could self-diagnose by just public opinion, but clinical diagnose, I'd say no without a master's or a PhD. Anyway, with that being said, oh my God, why?
Okay, well, if
Why would anybody in the rational right mind? Oh my God, I don't even know if rational is logical. I don't like that word either. What word am I looking for here? Both work great, but not the words I want. I don't understand. I don't understand.
sensationalized.
Yeah, I like that word better. Yeah.
Welcome, Jane. I was grousing about YouTube because they've now made it impossible after February of next year for me to ever equal the monetization requirements, even though I'm not going to monetize. I was just trying to get there to stroke my own ego, and now I guess I will fall short on yet another goal.
Did you have a storm go by, Jane? Yeah, so tell me, why is it like, why? Why has he set his sights on this? Well, I can understand why, but does he not realize that okay, so public opinion, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
There's
He has to realize that the public is on his side, right? We're not on Bam's side. We're against Bam. So
uh,
you keep taking it to a court of
it,
law.
but if you keep if you keep doubling down on your position, you know, now you owe twice as much. Now you owe four times as much. You double down again, now you owe eight times as much. You double down again, now you owe 16 times as much.
What's bigger
At
than a narcissist? Because the narcissist feels like it's not bad enough word right now. Like I can deal with a narcissist. At this point, we
uh,
can't deal with this fool anymore.
my wording would
He's a
be
menace and danger to society. He is
my
literally a danger to society, in my opinion.
I think he's conducting corporate sabotage.
Jane says, "Who are we talking about?"
Okay. Last year, well, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there's a case of stolen Lego bricks in Salem, Oregon. A family had spent 30 years of their life collecting Lego, specifically Star Wars kits. The kits were consigned at a local bricks and minifigs Lego store.
Hold on. I don't think the child abuser is uh uh I don't know where he is, but they are not the same individual. They are two completely different people.
Well,
They just
yeah, he's supposing that it's a relative of Ben's, and Ben must have been molested.
and
Um,
there's
and,
no
and
confirmation
Ben
of it.
Ben has gone on, and he says he's quizzed his parents, and he lives in Ohio, and he remembers the time that he lives in Ohio, and he's 99.9999% sure that he never was um, taken advantage of by a relative or anyone else in in recollect in recollected history. So yeah, I mean, it was. We all know that we can do some false research. or
Yes, yes, we can. And we can all fall for false research. We can all
right.
be scammed. We can all be scammed, but I'm telling you right now, I can go in my phone and I can find Hershey Lynn Anderson commits capital punishment crime in 1992. I promise you I did
But
not. I
that
did
was
not
taken care
do
of
a
because
capital.
you're,
But I bet you someone can find it, make it, create it, or whatever. It
yeah,
can be brought to life.
and this is
Again, more
Utah.
lies that become truth.
This is Utah, that they want everything tried in, and Utah is a state for capital punishment, and their preferred method of capital punishment is firing squad. Gary Gilmore, was it Gary Gilmore? Uh,
Oh, I don't even
it
know at
may
this.
be a
I
false
don't
record,
remember.
false memory, but uh, yeah, it's okay. So the if Jane is still here, the $200,000 Legos are put on consignment at the store. They have a um, showing. The $200,000 is, a was a guesstimation at the time. It was published by Bricks and Minifigs. Bricks and Minifigs knew about the consignment deal. They even helped promote it on the store's website. They endorsed it. The father who had the collection came for a viewing. Later, during a semi forensic accountant, way after the fact, the estimation would be 80,000 at the low end, 107,000 at a higher end, without any of the 1,250 minifigs involved. These are just whole new inbox unopened sets. There were 680, 720. Um, the so the store gets taken over by corporate. Corporate um, knows that the consignment is there. When the owner of the consignment comes for his monthly payment that's now late, he finds out that the original owner that he signed the contract with is not there, and has been forced out by corporate because um, of a she was just looking into how do I sell my franchise because my husband has a business opportunity overseas and we want to pursue that. She just put the question in, and lo and behold, one day they show up. They have she thinks that there's a buyer coming to just look at the store. Um, After she closes the store, the potential buyer um, is there for a hostile takeover, takes over the store, kicks her out of the store. And she explains about the consignment and she's printing out tickets to say, hey, Brian hasn't been paid this money. They get somebody on the phone from corporate. He explains that the business has been sold. Now Brandon and his business partner take over the responsibility for that consignment, and lo and behold, they don't take care of their end of the bargain. Everybody is promised a store takeover inventory, and uh, it doesn't seem to exist because nobody can get a copy of it. So Brandon is in charge of doing that. And do you think, yeah, keep them, especially if they're unopened, because that's what majority of these sets were. They were unopened in the boxes with the shrink wrap on them and everything. He had two Cloud City sets. They're both valued at right now is market price, about $10,000. I I wouldn't pay $10,000 for a Lego toy. I don't think I even paid that for my last automobile. But at Hershey, they do have a botanical series, and you can get a Lego Audrey too from Little Shop of Horrors.
I must have one. I must have one. I need that. Anyway, Jane, you're not the boss of me. I just wanted to let you know I saw the comment because Thomas was talking. So this way I knew I saw the comment. That's all I was doing. Because I didn't want you to think you were not being seen. Because we love you and I seen you. Anyway, go ahead. And she says she's following. She does understand. So
Okay,
it's a big thing. It's an ordeal. It's a thing. But this thing is a thing. Um
well, okay. So there's been a lot of allegations. Will anybody who's contacted the police um, and be held accountable for allegedly false statements in trying to get Ben and his posse arrested?
what now?
Um, okay, there's been a lot of things said to the police, whether true or untrue. They, let's just say, they exaggerated the claims. They were coming on my property, looking in the window, scaring my 5-year-old daughter. She can't sleep now. They're knocking on the doors. They're sending kids to run up and down the street honking and disturbing the neighborhood. And so there's been a lot of alleged things that may or may not have gone on. He certainly has. People
Okay, so there's
certainly have their
one.
people certainly have their phone in their hand and can record at any step of the way, but no evidence has been given to back things up. So, are these false reports ever? Uh, are they going to be prosecuted by a Utah DA, or do they just get to let the policemen be orchestrated as tools for their vendetta against these people?
Wow. It says, although it may be summer and it may be a warm day, the solution doesn't have the brightest of ending. So listen, my question is this: is this one same individual the only individual making the report, as
No,
in company, uh, said
they're,
company, or is this
they're
like there are 45 reports from one street of excessive amounts of this
uh,
happening?
if it's to a residential neighborhood, the only person making the complaint is uh, the bricks and minifigs person. Nobody else on the street has um, said that there's
There,
people running up and down and honking and yelling things out the windows and um, you know shooting off firecrackers or shooting guns in the air, or those
yeah. So I don't
allegations have not
know.
even been made.
I I don't know a lot, but there are some things that I understand, right? And I'm gonna talk for a second here. So listen, um, coming from a former bad guy's perspective, um, we make a lot of accusations and assumptions on people when we are in bad guy energy. Because either we gotta hold a facade, or we gotta look like the big bad rough and tough guy. Sometimes we take credit for things we didn't do because we want that kind of image, right? Um, the problem with that is that if you are a public figure and you're constantly doing this to someone who is not a public figure, it's easy to prove harassment. It's easy to prove all kinds of embarrassing and harassing situations when you're the
Yeah,
one and only
the,
person making false accusations, false reports, um, filing police reports falsely. That, I believe, in itself, after so many, becomes a felony. And I don't know how many it is,
and,
but
and
a repeat offender in the state of Missouri is 3 times. So if you do something 3 times, three, 1, 2, 3,
and
3 times in the state of
three,
Missouri, you become an
three,
offensive and
three
prior and
times,
persistent
three
offender.
at least 3 times in one day for 3 days in a row for one individual.
Where is prior and persistent, and where and why? And please tell me, hopefully, now you pull some cards, bro. Is Ben going to turn this around and sue them for defamation of character, falling, falsely having me arrested, false charges, suing, all of that? Is this going to be turned around on them by Ben?
Well, the tactician, we have the King of Cups. He's got his emotions in check. Ben, reckless Ben. These other guys are whining and pissing and moaning like the little emotional juveniles that they are. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Ben, they think they're clever and playing chess, but um, Ben is 7 moves ahead of them. They're thinking about the immediate deal. Ben's thinking 7 moves ahead of them. He he makes himself out to be the fool and maybe a little naive about things. You know, he announces things. Okay, here's the plan, and he tells them what he's thinking for this move. But he doesn't tell them that he's already laid these plans out many years, uh, many weeks in advance, and he they're playing by his playbook. You know, this is their move. This is my counter move. Temperance in reverse. There's not. Um, it's not about justice or balance. It's about doing things in a measured way. He's not. Uh, the it's reversed because they are exaggerating claims. Um, if it were about Ben and his temperance, it's like he knows he knows just how far to push it to, I guess, trigger another button on them
Okay.
and and
Okay. Okay.
and make them look foolish and ridiculous. I mean, he's a master tactician, and the outcome
Okay.
is the Three of Pentacles. There is a long term financial plan. Um, his his immediate financial plan is to get Brian his Legos back or made whole financially, and he's done that with the GoFundMe account. You know, it made that money, but now Bam has put a counterclaim on it and is suing Crystal, Ben, and Victor M15 Does and Brian Mansell for $1.3 million and the profits from his Patreon and the profits from his GoFundMe's. Um, and so Brian may not get that money in the end, but we're hoping for the hero comes out good. He may get a slap on the wrist, may have to spend 30 days in jail for the criminal allegations against him. But we're all hoping for the underdog, the little guy, to make back their money, or at least the value and the sets, to make them whole. But again, uh, the the RICO, he's trying to say that there's RICO charges. They are a criminal enterprise set up to do dastardly things to corporations, but they don't have a history of it, so it can't really be racketeering for a one-time deal. There's
So wait. When we read last time, didn't you say they like proved it? Like they proved that it wasn't, there was no way to get that? Like I
oh, but
thought somewhere
the
we read or
the the
watched somewhere
the
they couldn't do that.
supposition the suppositions with the evidence that we've been told about, and what video evidence that Ben has proved, um, Rico will not hold up. There's
Okay,
there,
okay, okay,
there are
okay,
13 there are 13 causes of action against Ben
okay,
in the one lawsuit of the four he's facing. Uh, of that he's the TRO has run out, but they Ben and his legal team have filed an extension, because apparently they're in mediation at the moment, and it looks like you know they're they're making headway on it, and Bricks and Minifigs has agreed to allow them to continue it till September 2nd, I believe. So Ben's attorneys, Crystal's attorneys, Brian's attorneys, and Bricks and Minifigs attorneys have all said, okay, let's sleep on this for another 60 days. August, September. Oh, August, September, another 30 days. And we'll see if we can have it ironed out before then, and have monies paid out and NDAs signed. And we may never get, I may never get satisfied, because I want to know the bottom line of who gets what and what they got to pay for.
How do you feel about what Janet says? How is the contract not honored, regardless of who dies, leaves, sells,
Right,
takes
right.
over?
So
That
that
we covered that in like the very first
yeah,
show, but
the
it was
con
some of the most
the
fascinating
con
information we
yeah, the
found out.
contract goes on. If you're taking over a company you assign, you can't just take all the assets and leave the obligations behind. You got to take on the
No,
liabilities as well. They took the
there's
company over. They acknowledged that they had Legos in the store that were not um, part of the store's inventory, part of the um, but they just said, "Oh well, we've had them this long. We're not going to give them back. We're not obligated to. We've had them this long. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Bye bye. Fuck you. Yeah, sorry.
um they also tried to make it seem like they didn't have the material at some point.
Oh
They they
yeah.
they they,
They
they
disputed
literally
back
were
and forth.
hiding it. They kept moving it around. They had like this freaking U-Haul truck, and for like a week it was on a U-Haul, and then it ended up in a store, I believe, like a storage unit. It is hide and go seek with the dang on Lego sets, but it is a sad day when your jealousy and your greed over toys is this bad. But in finding out about the contracts, so I saw in my cards, the very first time I read on it, somebody was possibly doing this for all the wrong reasons. And Thomas was like, well, what does that mean? And I said, well, because I don't think they're doing it for Legos. I don't think they're doing it for the storefront at all. I think they're doing it because they're laundering money in other ways, shape, form, or fashion. And within 3 days, 2 days, or something like that, they literally found out this person is, well, the proof is out there. It's been found. It's been and because he was found out, he has twisted reality for Reckless and turned it into the shit show that it is now. And if I was Ben, I would take it as far as I could take it. And I appreciate him for doing it because it was an innocent situation that you could have literally gave the shit back, but instead your ass is greedy, launderer,
So
and this is
they,
what greed gets you.
Brandon Best, one of the new store owners, said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give the Legos back. I promise." And he says the only thing is that Brian's got to make an apology video, and Brian says, "No, can't do that because if I make an apology video, it makes me look like I was at fault." So, so they did a deep fake apology video that was a picture of Brian Mansell with the voice of another party with Reckless Ben's posse, apologizing. So Brandon says, "Okay, well that's good. You apologized to me. I accept your apology. Now you got to go back into the store and apologize to Amanda." And Ben says, if I go back, I'm already trespassed from the store. I can't go back into the store. And Brendan's like, I promise you, you can go back into the store and apologize to Amanda. And the first thing, I'll set it up. I'll make sure that she knows that you're coming and to let you in. First, apparently that never happens because Amanda sees Ben outside and starts dialing 911. You know.
Yeah, and here's where I like I think it was like on week 3 or week 4 when we found out in the setting out of the money laundering and all the different businesses and all the different fake takeovers and all the fake inventory and all the fake this and the fake that and the my wife can't be involved and all the hiding of the truths and all the lies and all the adamant, blatant disrespect and the misuse of police officers, law enforcement officials, public officials. It's not good. On top of all of it, I saw, wouldn't it be the topper of the cherry if when all of this falls through and he has to turn it into a, well, why did you feel like you needed to defend yourself and take his life? Well, I've been saying that he was threatening my managers, my employees from day one when he wasn't. He didn't start that till like week 3, and we got it all on tape. Like it's all played out on camera. Like he is so predictable, and I am low level criminal to his level of criminal, and I can still see how predictable his next move is. It's disgusting. But here we are, and now he's trying to get a cop to co-sign for guns.
But you're
I'm sorry. I am pro-choice on a lot of shit. I'm pro-choice for guns too. But come on. This is not even for real. This is so far past bullshit. I didn't realize we'd even get this far, but we're here, bro. We're here. and I don't understand, but I can tell you that the next one is literally the self-defense case, and I don't think it's going to be Ben in a casket. I think it's going to be the other way around. I think he's underestimated um Reckless.
Well,
And by that
but
I mean I hope so.
but it's
I hope he's still
these are all
7 moves ahead.
everybody's innocent until proven guilty. All these all these
Absolutely. This
things
is
are
just we're just
alleged.
talking. We are just
It's
talking.
just the way that it appears right now because
Yes. Yes.
Ben has
Yes.
video receipts. Of course, you can edit things to make it look a certain way, but Ben just seems to be pretty ethical. He tells you when he's doing an unethical thing, or okay, yes, we crossed the line, and
That's what I'm saying. That he is. Listen, if you listen of criminal, he's below low level. Like he tells on himself before he does it. Like he's telling you, "I'm gonna break the law, and I'm gonna do it this way, and then I'm gonna do it this way."
okay. Well,
And and
when they got swatted and the 5 people were arrested, and Ben's in the interrogation room, the other 4 are in holding cells, and they get interrogated one by one. These kids do not take the plead the fifth, or say I want a lawyer. They all talked, and they were all 100% honest. They didn't paint anything uh, unethically. They told the truth, and just by the graces of telling the truth and having consistent stories, and when they got asked again later in the same interrogation, they did not deviate from their earlier story. They all had to be let go because they didn't roll over on
breaking the
Ben.
law.
They didn't roll
Yeah,
over on Ben. Ben rolled over on himself, saying that he created the GoFundMe. Well, the creation of the GoFundMe was not illegal, but the blasting of the person on a public thing, even though it might be considered uh, um, defamation or whatever, that's still civil. It's not criminal.
absolutely. And as a forever criminal, according to how all that works without a presidential pardon or whatever, because I'm grandfathered in. I caught all my cases before 96, and then in 96 the law changed. So I got grandfathered in. How about that? Anyway, with that being said, what I can tell you is
I
what
know a
I can
legal
tell you is
criminal.
that when it comes to warrants, when you write specifically what you're going in there to get, and you walk out with things that are not on the warrant,
Right. There
they
it
don't
was
count.
it
They
was
well, they
a
count against the cops. They count against the system.
yeah,
They
it
count
was
against the judge. Do you see what I mean? What they count against? They don't
a,
count against Ben
a
because once again, Ben didn't do anything wrong.
right.
Or at
They
least not what it looks like. Granted, we're seeing a this amount of it, guys. We're
right.
seeing this amount of it.
We're seeing
But
the edited narrative, and maybe not. We're not seeing the whole thing, but these, he's hired local kids from Utah that are
yep,
Mormon
yep.
affiliated. They may not be
With
LDS,
the
but they grew up
church
with
that
LDS
all of them
people.
other ones
So I
are
mean,
affiliated with.
Tyler, his driver while he was there, he is not LDS, but grew up in the communities, and he's a straight laced kid. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't cuss. He's very polite to the police when the police are just raw dogging him for you know being on
Just
drugs.
being
Really?
a human and breathing.
Yeah.
I've
He's
watched so many videos of him just walking down the street and he's literally being stopped, driving down the street and he's
yeah.
being stopped. And
If
he's like, I'm literally just driving to work.
he's yeah.
I
He
live
said
3 blocks that way. What did
he
I
said
do?
about 2 weeks ago. He went down to the police station. He said he turned himself in, so I don't know if he was in trouble. He says ever since he went to the police station, they've got their grievance uh, set out, and he's not been harassed to the level that he had been up till about 2 weeks ago. So,
So he wasn't able to do anything from my understanding. Listen, I am just in
oh
a
yeah,
small town USA, just like
he,
everyone else,
he,
with reason if you're
he
in America. If not, well, hey, how are you and where are you at? But listen, um,
he
oh
lives
my
down the
God.
street from Brandon. He lives about
It's
3 blocks away, and so that's
these
the street
people
he
are
goes down to get out of the subdivision. And like many subdivisions, they only have like one entrance, one exit. So it can be controlled. So it can, it's not like a Midwestern block by block by block where it's a square grid and you can get to anywhere from anywhere. These are subdivisions that are planned communities that have controlled access and egress.
absolutely. And Janet, yes, yes. See, I might have been the one that was constantly putting them little assholes to work back in my day when I was a teenager. I am 50 years old. We're talking a long time ago. But regardless of that, I still have 5 felonies and I still have 49 misdemeanors. So I've been arrested 194 times. Trust me, I do understand what I'm talking about. Anywho, long time or not too much has changed. The system is still very much broken, and these kids literally did nothing. Nothing. And it's because of bad guys just not liking nosy ass kids. All of this is where we are.
194. I would have to get me and
Hmm?
37 of my friends to count that high.
Yes, I have been arrested a bunch of times. And let's not talk about the jail time or the almost 10 years in prison I've done. Listen. I qualify. My criminal credit score is long, but we're not talking about my criminal credit score or what I am no longer. We are talking about the dum dums that got caught. So these high functioning retards that I am now clocking T on that are doing the fucking most. And yes, I am coming after them. I am Dog the Bounty Hunter now on the bad guys. Just
I always,
saying.
I always said that if I got caught up in the system, I'd want to work in the metal shop so I could make my own personalized plates.
Oh, really? Oh, so
Yeah,
much of that shit is TV, but yeah, I get it.
I guess it'd be Hot Wheels or Limp Alongs or Limps a lot or.
Mhm. Yeah. So
Okay, well,
Janet says she, as a cashier from a small town restaurant, working in a small town restaurant, she understands how they all sit at the table and have breakfast together and then go to work and play like they're enemies and Mortal Kombat and all this other
yeah,
shit and
well,
then go home and plan Christmas parties and after parties. Trust me, I know. Like I said, I do understand the system. I may
yeah,
have been the one in handcuffs most of the time, but
there
my
is
family scratched elbows with them. So unfortunately, I get it.
there
We
is a
were always the
system
bad guys.
of
Mhm.
Good Old Boy Network, and twice on the recorded videos that I'd seen, they got to doing statements like, "This is Utah. We play differently here," saying that there's laws, but we're gonna go by our own laws. You know,
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
you're an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
outsider. You ain't from
Mhm.
around here, so we're gonna make your life a living hell if we can.
Oh, don't I know it? Don't I know it? I have so many damn stories. And I for me and as someone that grew up in the Midwest, I just want to say that the good old boys can always knock on my door, but you
Yeah,
damn uh hillbillies, and you
yeah,
know which ones I'm talking about.
and
I'm not. It's no different than the Karens and all them other ones. I hate the name pointing and finger pointing, but we have got to get a better way. Like we got to get this system redone. We need to
it
just completely dismantle it
well,
and just start from the ground and rebuild the son of a bitch,
well,
because this whole system is ignorantly
well,
being run retardedly.
the thing is uh anyone can sue anyone else, and you've got to hire a lawyer to put up a defense. Well, it's
Yeah.
so expensive. It's so expensive. Lawyers can't afford lawyers. You know, uh, it's just the legal
Dude,
system is not
really?
just for. It is not just for. It is not justice for the poor. Let's put it that way. If you
It
get a
never
cup,
was. It wasn't
if
built that way. It was
yeah,
built on
if
a
you
money
get
system.
if you get assigned legal representation because you can't afford legal representation, that is not going to get you the same kind of quality as a, you know, top 500 legal defense company with, a war chest of money and a litany of attorneys and paralegals and researchers who can cite case law about anything and everything involved. It's just, it's a good system, but it is unrealistically expensive. Like, um, okay, so for my accident, uh, I got money enough to pay for my medical bills and leave me with medical bills behind. Then I see on these YouTube shorts a neighbor goes on vacation, and a neighbor who doesn't like the tree blocking their view of the beach chops down a tree and gets $300,000. My my personal life, being affected and being injured in the state of Texas was only $30,000 is what the insurance will cover. Well, I had to hire an attorney, and for one letter, it cost me $10,000 out of the settlement because things just wouldn't move. You know, I had 308 pages that I faxed them repeatedly because they assigned it to somebody else and they misplaced the paperwork, oh so conveniently. Uh, and it's like, and you know, doing discovery on what the person that hit me's worth was. They had a car and and a rental house. They didn't have any assets to go for. You could have got a settlement for money that will never materialize because that's just the way it is. Like I could have got the money in name only, but no cash at the end of the day.
Wow.
But
Man.
I'm, I'm more bitter over YouTube allowing me not to equal the goals of making money, even though I can't. and and with that said, let's say goodbye. We're going to be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, probably minus Timmy, for shadow reads on my channel. You got anything coming up before then, Hershey?
Not that I'm aware of. I have a pretty important neurology department or neurology appointment pretty early in the morning, so I've got to get up pretty early. I'm going to go to bed early so that I can get up early. So Nope, I'm going to rest when I get out of the appointment, and then I will be available for reads tomorrow night. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
And with that being said, this beautiful woman is Hershe. I'm Thomas, and you all are awesome. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys.